Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a little bit since there's been some uploads. That's what happens when you get busy and with the vacation and all that good old editing stuff. What little I do of it, you're about to get delays. I know a week ago I posted a video regarding the Sydney Sweeney stuff, and I said to stay tuned for a video regarding Nintendo and stuff and their recent practices in the last, I'd say probably the past few years, but particularly the last 6 months. So just wanted to get that out there. Nintendo has made a lot of questionable choices, and there's no company that hasn't. You have Apple, Microsoft, Sony, you name it. They've all made questionable choices. But this time there's like a consistent line of what's been going on with Nintendo and pretty much how greedy they've gotten. And I wanted to give my 2 cents on that. The first thing I want to comment on are what most people talk about. It's just their pricing. The whole $80 games and $60 to buy their first party expanded storage for the Switch 2. The fact that you need to get brand new storage that your previous SD cards couldn't use, and now you have to get an express card that costs $60 to double the storage. It's an extra 256 gigabytes, especially, and this is another thing I want to criticize them for. If you're getting something like a game key card where you buy the card, but you have to, it's only like a literal key to download the game from the shop, that takes up more storage too. So imagine you buy like 5 games that use that, or you buy 5 digital games if you guys are digital owners. You're gonna need more storage after that point. That's if the games don't take up that much space. So the pricing is a problem. The game key cards are a massive problem for me, and why I have not bought a lot of their stuff. I just think that if I'm going to own a game, it's either going to be digital or it's going to be physical, and I just don't believe in the key card stuff. I mean, I remember someone on, and shout out to Nintending, the YouTube channel. You're a great channel, man. And I've commented on yourself, you replied to me. So if by any chance you see this, shout out to you. But someone mentioned a key card is the worst on both ends. The purpose of a physical card is to, well, actually, I'll start with the digital. The purpose of a digital game is so you don't need the card or the disc if you're a PlayStation or an Xbox or even a PC player, although who on PC owns a physical copy nowadays? If you own a digital game, you don't need either the cart or the disc. You just have the game downloaded at your convenience, and you can play it at any point. The purpose of a physical game, a physical cart or a disc, is to prove ownership. A key card robs you of both. Now, my friend Zoomed Insight, and he actually kind of inspired me to make this video. So shout out to you, man. We're close friends, and he's done a lot of content, and he inspired me to make content like this. So again, I want to thank you for that. He and I see the gate key card situation a little differently. We're not as far apart as someone like me or a digital owner would, but he still has some differences of opinion in regards to that than I do. And I have to give him credit that there is one argument he's made in regards to a key card that I think is valid, which is that, well, if you don't like it, you can still sell it. And, I would agree with that. Yeah, if I had to choose between a key card and a digital game, clearly I would choose the key card, because at least I have the physical thing. If I don't like it, well, I can pawn it off or sell it to somebody or gift it or whatever. But I still think that with Nintendo forcing companies to choose between a 64 gigabyte card, which is very expensive, and a key card, that is a physical copy, but it requires you to download the game anyways. It's very ridiculous. Now, in some instances, I might understand, like in on the Switch One, I remember that Dark Souls 3 could not come out on that console, and the company admitted they did. It would cost more than what they would profit off of it. And I understand why they never came out with it, or if they ever did, they probably would have done a key card. But that still doesn't give the excuse that Nintendo is limiting these third parties to only have key cards or a high gigabyte card that probably doesn't need it. Like Bravely Default did not need to be a key card. It's such a small game. So I don't know. I also think Nintendo increasing their prices, and that's one of the reasons. That's the main reason for uploading this video. I could have done this a long time ago, but it's because they decided to up their prices again. This time they up the price on consoles that are 8 years old. Well, a console that's 8 years old, but the generation itself started 8 years ago, which is the Switch One. The first system was $300. They raised it. And I just think that's poor business practice. I think that you're doing so well in every department. That is your best-selling console. You're approaching to be the best-selling console of all time, being the PlayStation 2. And yet, you're upping your prices. You guys are supposed to be the more affordable option. Now you raised the Switch OLED to $400, $50 less than the Switch 2. Now, I'd be a fool if I told you I don't know why. I do know why. It's to see what they can get away with. And they're using the word market. They're using the term market changes. But let's be real. That's just another fancy way of saying tariffs. And do I believe tariffs play a part in it? Yeah, they probably do. Do I believe they play a massive part? Or even half of the part? No. That's just an excuse to raise your prices. That's all it is. And to all the people who say, well, Nick, it's inflation, it's the market, it's the tariffs, I'll just ask you all a question. Now, Zoomed Insight did something similar to this. Like he said, I'll ask you 3 questions or whatever regarding this. I'll ask one. Let's say I'll just humor everyone. I say it's the tariffs. Answer me one thing. If the tariffs were the reason and the president just decided, and we'll just take them off, would they lower their prices after that point? Something tells me no. So I just think that the way they're going now, and look, I say this as someone, I own a Switch too. I do. And I bought Mario Kart and I bought Donkey Kong Bonanza. Now you're probably wondering, but Nick, you just said you don't support $80 games and their business practices. You're right, I don't. And I still don't. And I proved it. Everyone freaked out with the 450. Now, given the lack of what they have and the problems they had in regards to frame rate issues, I could say that the console should have been 400, maybe even less. But I wasn't upset at the console price. I was just like, oh, okay. Like I even said, it's going to be like 400, 450. I just figured. And I did not buy Mario Kart for $80. I got on Marketplace for essentially $50. I did a bundle of Joy-Con 2 controllers and Mario Kart 8 brand new. It was $120 total. So if you guys do the math, that's big math. That's great. And I don't support their crappy business practices. I mean, they just raised their Joy-Con 2s to $100. Who wants to pay $100 for Joy-Cons? Their dock set is ridiculously priced, still like in the 130 range, if I'm not mistaken. So, I just think Nintendo needs to go back to being a family-friendly console and stop being so anti-consumer. You guys don't need to do this. I think they're still the best video game company. I mean, Sony has lost their ways. Microsoft's gone way off the deep end, but I gotta give Sony credit. They're not doing price increases. Microsoft tried upping their consoles to $600 and making $80 games. It's not working out so well. They're already not selling that well. And the Outer Worlds 2 was just dropped down from 80 to 70. And I gotta tell you, I think that people need to stop. I mean, look, spend your money the way you want. If you're happy with the stuff you have for Switch 2 or whatever at whatever price, I'm happy for you guys. But I am going to tell this to the people out there: if you really believe that companies should stop doing whatever crappy business practice they're doing, you got to vote with your dollar. You do. And I've made it very clear that I am not going to buy a key card. I'm just not going to. If you guys choose to, that's fine, but that's wasting your storage. Therefore, you're going to have to buy more storage. It's not true ownership if you can't access the game if the servers go down. I just think we all need to take a stand against this. Physical ownership is very important, whether it's media or whatever. Property rights are one of the most important things in your entire life. If you don't have property rights, so what's the point? It's like the establishment wants to tell you, you will own nothing and be happy. I'm not going to live my life that way. Now, does that mean that I'm going to just own every single thing physical? No, I'm perfectly fine with having streaming services. I really want to get rid of a lot of my movies because they're good, but, good to put on here and there to show some people. But there are some movies I own where I'm like, yeah, I don't need to own that. But when it comes to things like video games and your house, those things maintain their value, and you just gotta hold on to that. So that's why I wanted to make this video. It's just to talk about how Nintendo has really shot themselves in the foot, and they're really trying to see what they can get away with, how far they can go, how far they can push us, people like me, or people like the average consumer, where they'll say, oh, it's fine because Nintendo can do no wrong. And they say, oh, it's not corporate greed. It's because of everything. It's like, imagine defending I think it's $1 trillion corporation at this point. They do very well with their products. And I love their products. I also got a Pro controller from the Switch 2 Pro controller. And it's the best controller I've ever had. But guess what? I got it on a deal. I did not buy it at 85 or at the $90 price that it's at now. I didn't buy it for that. I got it for 75 at Best Buy when they did their members price deal. So you got a deal hunt. That's just what I would recommend to you guys. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would really help out. Let me know what you guys think of Nintendo and honestly just the gaming world as a whole. All the gaming companies' business practices. Tell me what you guys think. And again, sorry for the infrequent uploads. Things have just been a little raggedy with the delay in uploads of the segments of the last episode and busy schedules. It's just the way it is. And also, parenting. I'm back to parenting after my son got to enjoy Florida for 2 months straight. But back to parent life now. So anyway, thank you guys again for watching. Again, check out the channel, share it, comment. Please comment. I love what you guys had to say. Whether it's positive, negative, just neutral, I very much appreciate it. I'm a very conversational person. You'll see me reply to you a lot. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. See ya.